no funny business, because this is serious. This is serious. FaZe, a team that couldn't stop getting to playoffs, could be eliminated by Mouse Sports.
I feel like Chad's feeling real comfortable after that Renegades win.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's riding a high, isn't he?
He's gone all in this time.
Yeah, he has.
None of you hanging out with him? None of you hanging out with the Sponge Corner?
I'll hang out with Sponge.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
You're going to go for Mouse Sports?
Yeah.
My God.
I feel more confident if I get Andrews on my side here.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick FaZe.
Okay. Yeah. Oscar versus Guardian. You're gonna have so much fun. Olaf Meister against the ropes. I think there's nothing more needs to be said. I just want to hear you boys shout your lungs out and enjoy some Counter-Strike.
Well, do our very best, Alex, indeed. Yes, I did. This is going to be sort of slightly crazy. We've been swapping formats so much in Counter-Strike, right? The Swiss format came into play. Now we've got this again, and it's just really brutal. Like, there's there's not many mistakes you can make.
The nice thing is that it brings back the old 0-2 barbecue meme. We can now get back on board with that.
That's true.
Yeah, love that.
Not bad.
It is, but it actually ensures it's. I guess it's two different camps, right? Like, would you rather have the winners, like the better technically quote unquote matches, just be BO1s? Now we have them as BO3s, or would you like teams to get more chances at playing as they get eliminated? So I mean, I guess you can just come from two different angles. There's no real set format in Counter-Strike at the moment that I think is perfect. I don't think there ever will be.
Probably not. I mean, it is a trade-off, right? And there's obviously also there's a sort of physical limitation at the end where you need time to do it.
Time comes for us all.
And I mean, obviously people have been talking a lot about this, but in Dota where they sometimes have the double elimination format, right? Mm-hmm. It's just that it takes so long to unravel, right?
Well, I mentioned this as well a couple times. Remember those like old ESEA championships we used to have like back in like 2013, I think early 2014, that were like 8-team double eliminations, BO3 brackets. Those were long weekends and days, weren't they?
And there's a question as well about whether or not you're not just going to get almost the same result. Like that's the problem as well as if these sort of GSL type formats yield a similar result to what a double elimination group would. I mean, it'd be interesting to find out if that's true. But if it is, then there's not really much point in spending even more time.
Right. Well, I mean, onto the game itself, actually, and talking about these teams. The big thing that we saw on Nuke was it felt like, obviously, a good map for NIP, but FaZe didn't seem quite too comfortable with it. So, I mean, obviously, that's going to be a map pool issue with the new lineup that just takes time, especially considering they've admitted that they want to focus on all the maps at once. So they're going for that broader, we're going to be good on all maps, but not great on any one map necessarily. But also, something that they can do on Mirage that Nuke doesn't have is plenty of space here for players to make their own decisions and to make some kind of a play on the FaZe side of things. Plenty of ways to spread out, plenty of ways to manipulate rotations on this map where you're not kind of locked in by the confines of just how Nuke is laid out as a map.
What is your reasoning for picking Mouse Sports other than just sort of wanting to socialize with Chad?
Chad?
Which is a good reason. I mean, I'm not saying that's a bad reason. I'm just saying.
I would say I lost a little bit of confidence after that Nuke game where FaZe just seemed like even like the most basic stuff seemed kind of a little bit of a struggle. We saw a lot of miscommunications on some of those bomb site hits on the CT side of things.
Yeah.
But also, I think Oscar's been playing great. I have a lot of confidence in Rops as a young player. I think he's sick. And Sonny was extremely impressive. Despite all the talent and all the all-star players and all the world-class players on the FaZe side of things, I think Mouse Sports has a lot of players that are just, on the rise in terms of their momentum and confidence as individuals.
Yeah, those are good points.
You didn't think I could do that? You were trying to trap me.
Yeah, I was hoping it'd be a funny moment where I could say something sarcastic, but no, that makes sense. I was pretty sold on what Pimp was saying about Karrigan and this particular map. Like for one thing, I feel like Karrigan actually just plays individually better on this map, but it's true as well. From a tactical point of view, his teams have always been doing really well on Mirage, so I like that. I think that's a solid point.
I just, but then they also raised, which I also thought was a good point, is that, when you have this much playmaking ability on your team, how much is actually left for Karrigan to say, okay, by the way, on Mirage, I'm going to be another X factor for us just because I'm always very, very good individually on this map. So I think there's going to be a lot of question marks about this FaZe team moving forward. I was one of the people who cautiously optimistic about this FaZe roster when it all came together. I really liked the Guardian pickup. I thought the Olaf one is, debatable on whether, that would have been like a net positive or minus. But, if they make it work, it's going to be so glorious. It's like one of those things where you almost you just want to see them make it work because it would just be so intense.
Yeah, even for one tournament, right? If it all sort of just combines at the right time, could be really interesting. I've had this issue with all the FaZe lineups pretty much. I've always thought like, well, at any one point, if you have 3 or more stars on your team, I always worry that you're going to have a series of games where only 2 out of 3 will show up, or maybe sometimes even just 1 out of 3, and then it's really weird, you know. Then it doesn't really seem to be worth it. So. But some of the previous FaZe lineups have proven that that's not true.
Well, so, just the most recent one.
Yeah.
The one before that certainly proved that to be true. In fact, your theory there is probably born from that previous one where they had like Rain, Jacob,
yeah. But in the beginning of that lineup, even I think it was better, right? Like that's when I thought, okay, actually maybe this could be really fun. But it does seem like it's hard to get everyone the space that they need to work with. And the solution for the sort of FaZe clan as a whole seems to be, when it isn't working, we're gonna shuffle out the rosters, right? We're gonna find new players, which is
I think it was just a shock, right, with how quickly it came out, because they've done so good like most of the year, and then just after like 2 events, it was gone. So either way, the mousesports team though is always an interesting one, because remember, like with I think they're kind of a similar situation as FaZe was, where you can probably look at these roster changes and say yes, they're an upgrade. But did you really need them?
Yeah, was it? That team strictly speaking, yeah.
Yeah, because that team was starting to look good. It had some dangerous series, some dangerous games where they did some upsets. So,
and then now we have just to in case people haven't been keeping up, obviously Optic is now like our third sort of one of these projects.
Right.
I think it's wild. It's true. There was a point in time where everyone would have said, in Counter-Strike, you sort of need all 5 nationalities to be the same on a team, or more or less, right? You need a common language factor, otherwise it's going to be impossible. But
it's been tried so many times in the past, and it felt like there was only like one real success story, and that was like all the way back in like 2004, 2005 with NOA. That's like a long time ago to like put stock in that. But I think it's just a natural progression of now we have a lot of good players that are just left without a home.
Yeah, well, we are going to head into the game now. The final one of the day, mousesports versus FaZe here. Day 1 of DreamHack Masters Malmö 2017, and it's mousesports versus FaZe. It's going to be FaZe on the CT side and mousesports on the T side, and already trying to peek into middle and control that are FaZe, trying to see if they could find an opening, but it looks like it's going to be over at the B bomb side. There's going to be a bit of action. Olofmeister and Nico, Carrigan and Rain, everybody chiming in. Well, that happened so quick.
Yeah, that's the strength of this FaZe team. Look at that, 4 kills across 4 players. That's quite nice. Guardian still looking for his first. He might just go hunt it down for the team ace, but that was supposed to be a fake.